Imagine a sea of green stretching as far as the eye can see, each tree bursting with vibrant red apples. The landscape is alive with color and life, a breathtaking sight that almost seems too beautiful to be real. The orchards roll over gentle hills, their neat rows forming patterns that are both orderly and wild, a testament to nature's artistry and human care. It's not a painting, but a real place. This is the heart of New Zealand's apple country, where the air is crisp and fresh, and the scent of ripening fruit fills the breeze. Every morning the orchards wake up under a soft blanket of mist, and as the sun rises, the trees sparkle with dew, making the apples look even more inviting. Welcome to an apple orchard in New Zealand, a country celebrated around the world for its delicious, high-quality apples. Here, apple growing is more than just farming. It's a proud tradition, passed down through generations. Families and communities come together each season to nurture these orchards, ensuring that every apple is grown with care and expertise. Here, among the rows of trees, a fascinating journey unfolds. It all begins with a tiny seed, carefully planted in rich, fertile soil. Over time, that seed grows into a sturdy sapling, then a mature tree. And finally, it produces the crisp, juicy apples you enjoy. Each stage of growth is carefully monitored, from the first sprout to the moment the apples are ready to be picked. These orchards are carefully planned and tended. Farmers use modern techniques and traditional wisdom to ensure the trees are healthy and productive. They prune the branches to let in sunlight, protect the fruit with nets, and use advanced irrigation systems to deliver just the right amount of water. Every detail matters, because healthy trees mean better apples. Farmers work hard, often from sunrise to sunset, to grow the best apples possible. Harvest time is a busy and exciting season, as workers move through the rows, carefully picking each apple by hand to avoid bruising the delicate fruit. Their dedication and skill ensure that only the finest apples make it from the orchard to your table. The trees need plenty of sunlight to grow strong and sweet, as well as fresh water and nutrients from the rich New Zealand soil. The balance of these elements is crucial, and farmers pay close attention to the needs of each tree, adjusting their care as the seasons change. New Zealand has a perfect climate for growing apples. Long, sunny days help the fruit develop its flavor, while cool nights preserve its crispness and sweetness. The unique combination of weather, soil, and skilled farming makes New Zealand apples some of the best in the world, enjoyed by people everywhere. So next time you bite into a juicy apple, remember the journey it took, all the way from these beautiful orchards in New Zealand. Our journey starts with a tiny apple seed. At first glance, it might seem insignificant, just a small brown speck resting in the palm of your hand. But within this humble seed lies the blueprint for something extraordinary, the promise of a flourishing apple tree, laden with fruit and full of life. Every apple you've ever tasted, every orchard you've ever seen, began with a seed just like this one. It holds the potential for a whole new tree. Imagine from this single seed, roots will stretch deep into the earth, branches will reach for the sky, and leaves will unfurl to catch the sunlight. In time, it could grow into a tree that provides shade, beauty, and delicious apples for generations. The journey from seed to tree is a story of patience, care, and transformation. But first, it needs a little help. Nature has its own way of ensuring seeds grow at the right time, but in orchards, skilled hands guide the process. Farmers and horticulturists carefully select the best seeds, preparing them for the adventure ahead. The soil must be just right, rich, loose, and full of nutrients, so the seed has everything it needs to thrive. The seeds are carefully collected and then chilled. This step is crucial because apple seeds need a period of cold, called stratification, to break their dormancy. In nature, this happens during winter, but in the nursery, seeds are placed in special refrigeration units to mimic the cold season. Each seed is sorted by hand, ensuring only the healthiest are chosen for planting. This winter sleep helps the seeds to sprout later. The cold signals to the seed that it's time to rest, just as it would beneath a blanket of snow. Inside, changes are happening. The seed is preparing for the moment when warmth and moisture will awaken it. This chilling period can last several weeks, and it's a vital part of the seed's journey. Once the chilling period is over, the seeds are ready to be planted. Carefully, they are removed from their cold storage and brought into the light, signaling the start of a new chapter. The anticipation builds as each seed is handled with care, ready to be given a chance at life. They are carefully placed in special trays filled with rich soil. Each tray is prepared to provide the perfect environment for germination. The soil is soft and moist, cradling the seed and offering the nutrients it needs to begin its transformation. Planting is done gently, ensuring the seed is nestled at just the right depth. The soil needs to be kept moist, just like a warm drink for the seed. Water is essential at this stage, encouraging the seed to swell and begin its journey. Nursery workers check the trays daily, making sure the soil stays damp but not soggy. This careful attention helps create the perfect conditions for the seed to wake up and grow. With warmth and moisture, the seed awakens. Slowly, the hard outer shell softens, and the life inside begins to stir. It's a quiet miracle, happening just beneath the surface. Over days and weeks, the seed absorbs water, swells, and finally the first signs of growth appear. A tiny root emerges, reaching down into the soil. This root, called the radicle, is the seed's first connection to the earth. It anchors the seedling and begins to draw up water and nutrients, laying the foundation for everything that will follow. It's the first step in a long journey toward becoming a tree. Soon, a small shoot pushes upwards, eager to greet the sunshine. This shoot will become the stem and leaves, reaching for the light above. It's a moment of hope and promise, as the seedling breaks through the soil and begins to grow toward the sky. Each day it stretches a little higher, fueled by sunlight and care. This is just the beginning of a long process. From these tiny seedlings, strong trees will grow, but it will take years of nurturing, patience, and dedication. The journey from seed to orchard is filled with challenges and triumphs, and every great apple tree starts with this simple, hopeful beginning. As we follow this journey, we'll see how each stage shapes the future of the apple tree and the fruit it will one day bear. As we watch our little apple seedling push its first green leaves through the rich New Zealand soil, it's easy to imagine the promise of sweet, juicy apples in the future. But did you know that growing the perfect apple tree is a bit more complicated than simply planting a seed and waiting? There's a fascinating world of science and tradition behind every delicious apple you enjoy. Today, let's uncover one of the orchard's best-kept secrets: the art of grafting. This ancient technique has been practiced for centuries by orchardists around the world, and it's especially important here in New Zealand, where apple growing is both a passion and a science. You might think that planting an apple seed from your favorite apple would give you a tree that produces the same tasty fruit. But in reality, apple trees grown from seeds are a bit like rolling the dice. Each seed is unique, and the apples it produces can be wildly different from the parent fruit. Some apples might be too tart, others too tiny, and some might not taste good at all. Imagine waiting years for your tree to grow, only to discover the apples are too sour to eat, or so small they're hardly worth picking. That's a risk most orchardists aren't willing to take. That's where the magic of grafting comes in. Grafting is a clever way to ensure that every apple tree produces exactly the kind of apples we love. Think of grafting as a special kind of plant surgery. Skilled orchardists carefully cut a piece, called a scion, from a tree that's known for growing delicious high-quality apples. This scion is like a recipe for the perfect apple, containing all the traits that make the fruit sweet, crisp, and flavorful. Next, they attach this scion to a strong, healthy root system called the rootstock. The rootstock is chosen for its ability to thrive in local soil and resist disease, giving the new tree a solid foundation. It's almost like giving the perfect apple tree a brand new set of legs, strong, sturdy, and ready to support years of growth. Over time, the scion and rootstock heal and grow together, forming a single, healthy tree. This union is so seamless that, after a while, you can hardly tell where one ends and the other begins. Thanks to grafting, our little tree is now ready to produce apples that are just as perfect as the ones you find in the market: crisp, juicy, and bursting with flavor. So, the next time you bite into a delicious New Zealand apple, remember the incredible journey it took. From a tiny seedling to the perfect fruit, all thanks to the art and science of grafting. New Zealand's climate is ideal for growing apples. The long sunshine hours help the apples ripen to a beautiful red or green. The cool nights help them develop a lovely sweet flavor. But it's not just the weather that helps. Farmers take great care of their orchards. They water the trees using special irrigation systems. These systems deliver water directly to the roots. Farmers also prune the trees, carefully trimming away branches. This helps the trees to grow strong and produce lots of delicious fruit. Spring brings a magical transformation to the orchard. The apple trees burst into bloom, their branches laden with delicate pink and white blossoms. The air fills with a sweet fragrance, attracting buzzing visitors. Bees. Bees are essential for apple orchards. They fly from flower to flower, collecting nectar and spreading pollen. This pollination process is what allows the flowers to develop into fruit. Without bees, there would be no apples. It's a wonderful example of how nature works together. As summer progresses, the blossoms fade and tiny green apples begin to appear. Slowly, they grow larger and rounder, their skin turning from green to shades of red, yellow, or green depending on the variety. Finally, it's harvest time. Picking apples is a delicate task. Workers carefully hand-pick each fruit, checking for ripeness and any blemishes. They fill their baskets with a rainbow of apple varieties, from the sweet and juicy Gala to the tangy Granny Smith. Each variety has its own unique flavor and texture. After harvest, the apples are taken to a packing facility. Here they are washed, sorted, and graded. Only the best apples are chosen for export. They are carefully packed into boxes ready for their journey around the world. New Zealand apples are enjoyed by people all over the globe. They are shipped in refrigerated containers to ensure they arrive fresh and crisp. From Asia to Europe, North America to the Middle East, these apples bring a taste of New Zealand to people far and wide. Think about the journey of a single apple, from a tiny seed to the fruit you hold in your hand. It's a story of nature's wonders, careful farming practices, and global connections. Each bite is a reminder of the hard work and dedication that goes into producing the food we enjoy. So the next time you bite into a crisp New Zealand apple, take a moment to appreciate the journey it has taken. From the orchard to your table, it's a story worth savoring.